especially in season 2, is when we start really integrating some of the characters that were actually original characters from Clone Wars. You know, we see like Hondo Ohnaka come back, and Cham Syndulla, Captain Rex. Oh, Captain Rex. That was a great episode for him, last one.
Oh my god!
But and of course, you know, with the sort of biggest character integrated from Clone Wars being Ahsoka Tano, and that season to me ended a lot of the same way that like Empire Strikes Back ended. Like I definitely saw a parallel there of, so at the end of Empire Strikes Back, you're like, things are terrible. You know what I mean?
We have hope, but I am in so much pain right now.
Dave Filoni and the guys who are working on the show, they basically said that like season 1 was always meant to be their A New Hope season, and that season 2 was very much meant to be the Empire Strikes Back. And they were saying this at the beginning of season 2. I'm like, don't tell me that. Empire ends so badly. It's such a downer.
It's like, I'm never gonna watch this again.
Well, but there's always in theater. There's, you know, when you had a 3-act play, there was an older writer that went, there's the trick of it is in the first act, you put your characters in a tree. The second act, you throw rocks at them. The third act, you bring them down from the tree and stop throwing rocks at them. So in the second act of it, we gotta throw the rocks at them so that they have something to overcome.
Yeah, it's so true.
I was expecting you to say that at one point the tree down.
That's what I was expecting. That.
The next time I tell the story.
I was expecting fire. Speaking of things to overcome, the season 2 opener is, I think, the most frightened I have ever been of Darth Vader.
Oh,
I was not scared of him in the movies. I was terrified of him during the Siege of Lothal. Nope.
I was scared of Darth Vader in the movies, but I'd seen all 3 of the original trilogy by the time I was like 4, so...
Oh, well, okay then.
But there was a great shot, and this is what they can do with animation, when Darth Vader appears at first and the lightsaber goes, and then it just twists a little bit.
Yeah.
And that move was so ominous and so wonderful.
Yeah.
That you're like, would it work in film? I don't know.
I think it's almost, I think the animation is almost too subtle for like an actual human to do, you know? Like that's kind of the beauty of this being animated, because you do get to like really incorporate a lot of those artistic influences and you know, kind of, I don't know, like play with the visual style of the world in a way that feels really like authentic and sci-fi, and I don't know, I love it.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
It's like a difference between a black and white photo and a color photo.
Yeah.
A black and white photo allows you to focus more on things than a color photo does.
Yeah.
So, and art.
Yeah.
I really think it helps that everybody who's working on the show has like a deep love for the source material.
Absolutely.
So that when you integrate a character like Darth Vader, it doesn't feel forced or kitschy or anything like that. They treat the character with a lot of respect, and just his very, like, his presence and the way they make him move very slowly and deliberately. Yeah, it's fantastic.
I love the way they incorporate Maul as well.
Oh, yeah.
When he came back in the season finale of the last of season 2. Stop.
And it's not just like, hey kids, we have this person this weekend. It's like, hey kids, we have Vader this weekend. Y'all gonna die.
Yeah, basically. I know. For me, though, like Darth Vader had been in and out, and I think they did a really good job of sort of sparsely sprinkling him in while still allowing us to have a focus on the original villains that they created, like the Inquisitors.
Yes.
And you know, we were talking a little bit about Governor Price. I think one of the things that's so awesome about Rebels, and we saw this in Clone Wars as well, is that you get some really awesome female villains.
Yes.
You know, because we don't really have too many of those in the like film canon.
We don't have too many female characters at all in the film canon.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Sam Wessel.
Yeah.
She did something.
Not
much.
You know.
She tried to shoot somebody and
She
something
did.
happened, and then she turned into a Claudite, and
Yes.
that's the end of Sam
Yep.
Wessel.
There you go. Bye, Sam Wessel. Yeah, but I like that we get to the number one. You know, they are so committed to creating a gender balance within the cast in general is a really awesome thing to see. But yeah, that like you have people like Governor Price and like the Seventh Sister
And speaking of Governor Price, we have a question in the hashtag.
Ah.
From Spectre7. Thank you.
Good job.
Do you think Price is outside her jurisdiction by chasing the rebels, or has she been given special powers?
I think that she is outside her jurisdiction. I think that she's like got ambition and she's gonna go for it.
I don't know. I would argue that since this threat originated on Lothal, I think that would give her, like, I don't know, I think it's within her right to say, hey, no, this is a Lethal problem.
Okay. Have we seen her for sure going out of her way to go after the rebels, or is it just, well, we're crossing paths with them again, let's kill them?
I think that she is going out of her way to go out of the rebel. I think that Governor Price is an incredibly, like, composed, in control kind of woman. So while I think she is stepping outside of her jurisdiction, I don't think anyone who's in charge of her is noticing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. As long as she doesn't screw up, it's fine.
Yeah. Plus, she's Mary Elizabeth McGlynn. She's got it figured out.
We can have her in as many of these episodes as we can.
Could you imagine, like, performance evaluations in the Empire? Just like
We've
your
seen
annual
them.
review. It's just, ugh.
We've seen performance evaluations in the Empire. Heads rolled.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was a thing, and it happened.
Yeah,
Roger Vader. This tray is wet. This tray is wet. Jeff Vader.
So after a very thrilling conclusion to season 2 with the confrontation between Ahsoka and Vader and the Inquisitors all meeting incredibly gruesome semi-off-screen deaths, that brings us to season 3. This is the season 3 trailer. I'm sure you've all seen it, but we're gonna watch it again.
Some you can't see.
I will never let my friends get hurt again.
The Holocron. I'm afraid it's changing it.
What if there are secrets we can learn from it that'll help us destroy the Sith?
Ezra, the secrets in that thing almost destroyed you.
I'm Hero Cadets of the Sky Strike Academy who wish to defect to the rebels.
This is Ty SS25. You can call me Wedge.
Welcome to the rebellion.
I still can't believe we're here to break this guy out of prison.
My friends, my friends! I give to you Reclam Station.
If we could steal a squadron's worth,
They would be key to building a strike fleet.
Let's go get him.
Everybody ready?
Yep.
Let's go. One last glorious day in the Grand Army of the Republic.
Flying stormtroopers?
Worse, Mandalorians who serve the Empire. You haven't forgotten our ways. That has earned my respect.
so what's in it for you two?
Riches untold, that sort of thing. So we'll split the treasure. Split the treasure. Oh, that's a classic.
Governor Price, these rebels have proven particularly stubborn. How do you intend to solve this problem?
I need someone who sees a bigger picture.
The Empire is getting better at anticipating our moves. I underestimated the commander. Previous attacks were clumsy, but this one was swift, precise.
To defeat an enemy, you must know them. Not simply their battle tactics, but their history, philosophy, art.
Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Caravast. Embrace your destiny.
Jedi and Sith, the light and the dark.
I'm the one in the middle, the Bendu.
Once a secret is known, it cannot be unknown.
Your anger gives you strength.
I will pull the rebels apart piece by piece.
I must become more powerful.
They'll be the architects of their own destruction.
Ezra, turn away before it's too late!
The key to destroying the Sith.
So needless to say, this is going to be a very uneventful season. It's just going going to be like a nice exploration.
That's the first time I've seen that trailer.
Really?
Yeah. That came out while I was at home on what turned out to be an emergency visit that didn't pan out. And I was waiting to do a reaction video and it never happened. So congratulations if anyone was watching that.
That was your live reaction video.
And what I love about that is that we have seen most of that footage within the first 5 episodes of this season.
And there's
so we've got 18 more to go.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Well done, Disney.
Well done. Not to mention just like chills when Thrawn just like, oh.
I know.
How about that voice?
I know.
That voice though.
Let's real quick just kind of go over the sort of main members of the Ghost crew and kind of where they are now. Kanan Jarrus, of course, is the former Padawan turned sort of Jedi Master.
Look, the hallucination said he was a Jedi Knight.
That's true, the hallucination did say he was a Jedi Master, so I guess it's official now.
You passed.
Played very artfully by Freddie Prinze Jr., who also is a huge Star Wars fan, and if you ever get a chance to talk to him about Star Wars, it's like kind of a religious experience, so I highly recommend it. But he had a rough time at the end of the last season there.
A little bit.
Oh gosh, the fact that they've injured him in this way and that they're keeping that, it's not just magically fixed at the beginning of this season.
It's not like they gave him robot eyes or something.
Which, can they do that actually?
Scarier than the mask.
Actually, can they do that? This is a world that specializes in giving people robot appendages. Like,
I don't know, man.
I feel like cybernetic optics is not out of their range.
I didn't even think of that until literally right now.
They probably could. Well, they can't get him in for the surgery because he's a known rebel. And
that is true.
Fair enough.
That is absolutely true. That is absolutely true.
The entire series so far, whether or not he's actually worthy to be teaching anyone. And I like that now that like he's kind of found himself, that like he's fully committed to still being Ezra's teacher.
Yeah.
And the only bad part about that is that like he's now competing with somebody else for his own apprentice, in terms of Darth Maul. So I feel like that's going to come to a head at some point later on down the line. Once Darth Maul is done with what I assume is his little revenge quest on Tatooine.
Yeah. Sure. He's actually doing a lot better than I was afraid he was going to be at the end of last season. I was like, oh no, this is going to turn into like some solo wandering samurai quest. But I'm glad to see that he's still very much part of the Ghost crew.
I'd be down for like a Zatoichi plotline.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be great.
But he just kind of shut himself in his room and listened to Simple Plan for a couple months.
Yeah, and then he got better.
That's kind of where we were.
That's true. And then, of course, Hera Syndulla, who is the mom of the group, keeps the ship afloat, literally, figuratively, all of the above. She's the squad leader for the Phoenix Squadron now, so she's pretty heavily entrenched in this rebellion. I feel that she's one character who remains like kind of delightfully unchanged.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Consistent.
And I feel like we need at least one of those in the crew, because if everyone's having drama at the same time, it's hard to keep track of, and then you just kind of get tired of everyone having drama at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, and
if she's their bedrock.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. She's the rock on which, the foundation for this family is set.
Yeah.
So if she were to change drastically, like I feel like the family might fall apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though we did see, of course, because Hera has this very like, even though yes, she's definitely like the emotional rock of the group, she also has this very like feisty side to her, and she takes a lot of personal interest in like people's well-being and also her own history, as we saw in the episode where the Empire had established a base. Yeah.
Now, was she interviewed by Thrawn, or was that?
She was, she was interrogated by Thrawn.
The picture behind her.
Yes,
we had a nice little tangled moment with that mosaic, and it's the lost princess.
Yeah, because she went back to get the Kalikori, which is basically like the family quilt. And yes, she did have an encounter with Thrawn there, who was basically like, that's who this person is. You didn't know that, General Slavin, you dumb.
She's literally in the mosaic right behind you. We framed it perfectly.
I know. Come on. Again, it's just that like beautiful use of this being an animated series.
She's wearing a name tag.
Saying hello, my name is Hera.
Hello, my name is Hera. We have C110P, aka Chopper, who has the highest kill count, I believe, of anybody in the entire group.
He does.
Hashtag truth.
He's my favorite astromech droid to ever exist.
I think the favorite thing that's come out of our live chat this season is their insistence that Chopper will be the one to kill Thrawn.
Oh, perfect!
Like, they've created this theory and then latched onto it, and I'm like, you know what? I like this.
Chopper's the only one bloodthirsty enough to make it happen.
Send me your flowchart. I subscribe to this theory.
Yeah, that did lead us into a big discussion about whether or not Thrawn could affect like droids in the way he affects people, because they don't create in the way that people do, which is a big part of Thrawn's kind of MO.
And then we have that weird little where do droids fit in Star Wars culture, and that's a rabbit hole that we really don't have time to discuss.
Yeah. Zebarelius, who started off as kind of just the random tough guy and really has had quite a lot of character growth, not only in his relationships with the Jedi characters, and you know, there was a little bit of dabbling in the using of the Force by the Lasat in the last season, but also has a great storyline with Agent Kallus.
Yes. The end of that storyline is gonna leave me wrecked.
I agree.
I know it.
I don't see Agent Kallus coming out the other side of it, unfortunately.
No, I would imagine from him we are going to have a heel face turn that will result in our main character's living and his immediate death.
He's gonna be super
And Steve
dead.
is doing an amazing job.
Oh my God, he's so great. Yeah, no, he's fantastic. Yeah, so when you guys work on these properties, a lot of the time you record stuff like so long before we ever see it on TV or on our video game consoles or wherever.
Years. I did something that will be coming out soon, and I recorded it last October, and there may be a date December.
Yeah, perfect.
I'm not saying it has any
Great.
Justice League.
Yes.
I don't know.
So what are the parameters of that NDA?
Yeah.
Can't say.
But
the first time I met Steve, because I'm as big a geek as everyone here, I love this world and I love the performers, and I did zombie sounds for the Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse.
Oh, okay.
And so did Steve. And it was the most fun day because we're just, geeking out and telling theater stories, and they're like, okay, we're going, and we're I love Shakespeare. Steve is so
well, and Steve was telling us that he was like his first Star Wars job ever was Stormtrooper number 3. So basically, like in Star Wars Rebels, you'll notice about every third Stormtrooper is Steve Bloom.
And he's like, yeah, they mark it off. We make sure that he's exactly 1/3 of the Stormtroopers.
Yes.
And I had to do the voice. I had to do a zombie deer, which was weird.
Oh.
Then there was a zombie that didn't have a jaw, was just tongue. And I'm like, what? And Steve goes, I don't know what you're gonna do, but make it juicy. I'm home, I'm with my people. Kylo Ren has entered the building. Kylo Ren.
Oh dear God, we're all gonna die.
All right.
Nice.
I feel like we need a showdown now.
Yeah. I mean, Kylo Ren was several years after the fact, and Ahsoka may or may not be alive or dead. Who knows?
Lightsabers have been drawn. Lightsabers have been drawn. Lightsabers have been lit up.
Oh shoot, it's getting real.
But anyway, yes, Duel of the Fates just starts playing. Let me find it. Yeah, Zeb is great, and Steve managed to like come in for our after show for like a perfect episode for Zeb, and I was like, how did you know that like that was that episode? Sabine Wren, who obviously is gonna get a little. I mean, we've already started introducing more characters from her past. We had the amazing Ketsu Onyo come in the last season. Gina Torres.
Yes.
Glorious. I want her to come back, but in the next episode, actually, it looks like we're going to be getting a whole bunch of Mandalorian characters, so we'll certainly be seeing some stuff from Sabine pretty
Sorry,
soon.
I'm really distracted by the Abraham cosplayer. and
Yeah, there's some Walking Dead cosplayers that just walked
I think
in.
Megan's traumatized right
If
now.
you guys
Trauma
haven't
forever.
seen the season
Spoiler.
premiere of Walking Dead,
Spoilers.
spoiler alert. What's up?
Christ. Okay.
We have a few questions in the hashtag.
Oh, yes.
We also
Bring
have
them
like
on.
10 minutes.
Oh no! Well, I ruined everything.
Well, one of the questions is real talk. Hera/Kanan?
Oh.
She wears the pants, but heck yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Well, then they put Hera
There's
first.
more to that. There's more to that.
Okay.
It's Kanan/Hera. Yes or hell yes? And the answer is
hell yes.
Absolutely. Friend, I ship that like FedEx at Christmas.
They're my Star Wars OTP, you guys.
Old.
You have a new saying.
Thank you.
Yeah.
FedEx at Christmas.
Yeah, so Sabine's gonna get some great stuff. Ezra is he may or may not go to the dark side, we're not sure. Let's see. They introduced some nice neutral characters. I was gonna do this video, which is the Bendu, but we'll skip over that so we can just get right into the meat of this conversation, which is of course the introduction of Thrawn to Star Wars canon. Yeah.
Price is overestimating how organized the resistance is. While it's true there are pockets of rebellion, there has never been any evidence of a larger scale, galaxy-wide operation.
And I would like to keep it that way. Admiral Constantine.
Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Grand Admiral?
The Emperor recently promoted me after my victory at Baton.
Civilian casualties outnumbered the insurgents at the time.
Acceptable margins, Agent Callus, for there are no longer rebels in that sector.
Well, Thrawn, what do you think of Governor Price's theory about the rebels in the Lothal sector?
This is a pirate our rebels rescued from Naraka prison, Hondo Onaka. Within the last hour, the Phoenix Squadron destroyed mining guild ships using the Zurita hyperspace waypoint. Taken separately, they may seem unrelated, but Onaka's cellmate was a laborer at our starfighter reclamation plant in the Yama system, one jump point away from the Zurita attack.
Grand Admiral Thrawn believes the rebels intend to raid the plant and steal fighters for their fleet.
Every ship they add to their arsenal increases the threat to our own armada and the Emperor's plans.
I trust you have a solution.
I will start my operations here and pull the rebels apart piece by piece. They'll be the architects of their own destruction.
Dang!
What I will never get over is the man who took genocide as a badge of honor going, yeah, civilian casualties outnumbered your actual target. Like, I'm sorry, do you get to talk?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, do you think he just waits in the shadows for someone to say his name and then like, oh, okay,
And he's
here I
like,
come.
yes, here I am.
I have to make a dramatic entry.
We did that on this week's episode of Arrow. I walked in at exactly the right time,
Yeah.
and someone went, does he wait for lines like that? No, that's just how he is.
And Lars Mikkelsen, man,
Oh
he is
God.
so good.
Although there were moments when I wished that Tarkin was going, I'm sorry, would you speak up? Would you speak up just a little? I can't hear you. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
and Steven Stanton does a great job as Tarkin. He also totally like crashed our live chat. He did. It's amazing. Yeah. But anyway, so Grand Admiral Thrawn, as we discussed previously, created by Timothy Zahn, introduced in the 1991 novel Heir to the Empire. He faced off against most of the major characters in the original Star Wars trilogy and is considered to be one of the most significant contributions to the Star Wars now Legends previously expanded universe. But now he's canon, yay!
Yay!
And there's going
We got to keep him.
and there's going to be a Thrawn novel as well, which Timothy Zahn is writing. So it's very awesome to see this character brought into the Star Wars canon. But I got to tell you, the team at Lucasfilm sure knows how to introduce an original villain. Oh, but Katie and I had a debate last week. Obviously, Thrawn is a great strategist. So we had a long debate about whether or not we would let Grand Admiral Thrawn plan our wedding. Just by show of hands, who would let Grand Admiral Thrawn plan your wedding? I feel like that's a majority. Okay.
I feel like that's about half.
How about no? You're like, I don't want Thrawn
Solid
anywhere
no,
near
hard
my
pass,
wedding.
hard pass.
Just this one guy is like hard pass.
Okay, so we have like 2 other survivors in the room.
I agree. I feel like the entire affair would go off without a hitch. I feel like it would be the wedding event to attend.
Yes.
In the
You know what else was the wedding event to attend? The red wedding. That's what you're gonna get.
But everyone's gonna be talking about it.
Thrawn is on your side. Right up until the reigns of Castamere.
Anyway.
It's like your wedding is wonderful and it's happening, and then the Imperial March starts playing, and you have this moment of, this wasn't on the song list.
No, I would like right out from Thrawn playing my wedding if I knew, like, if I was like Governor Price and we were like bros.
Oh, well,
yeah, absolutely.
I'm thinking just like me personally. Would I let Thrawn play my wedding?
Yes, the answer
I
is
don't
yes.
know if I could afford him.
Genius strategist. He'd had everything perfectly in order. Anyway, but Star Wars definitely, they know how to introduce those quasi-original villains. So here's a little something from a project that you worked on, Darren.
People in the audience are already making noises.
Again, with the music, it's so good.
You came all this way to find me. What do you want?
He's just making sure you know it's definitely him when his character finally speaks.
It's just good live commentary. It's great.
So good.
I know, it's... I was like trying to find a good clip to use and I was like, dang!
His glorious majesty, immortal master and protector of Zakul, Emperor Valkorion.
Welcome.
A new name, a new face. These are not enough to hide from us.
The Sith Emperor. Your presence is unmistakable.
Oh, I think a mistake has been made. But by whom?
God.
Dang.
Speaking of, you're all gonna die.
Yeah, I feel I'm gonna die just by you opening your mouth and
If you haven't played the game, it's really cool, and he gets in your head, literally.
yeah.
So play the game, y'all.
Right.
So you'll
He's
have
like, well, I mean, I feel like that his game is in some ways a little bit similar to Thrawn and the sort of whole like mind games.
Well, I think what the Old Republic wanted to do was we have sort of, the Skywalker family.
Right, of
Let's
course.
create another powerful dynasty in the Star Wars
Yeah.
universe a long time ago. So it's him, it's his two sons, it's his daughter, it's his wife. It's just an amazing story that they're trying to tell. And I'm really thrilled to be part of it.
Yeah, and that was that the first Star Wars video? Because you worked on Battlefront and Lego Star Wars, so this is the
That
first
was
one that you
because
worked
of
on.
this,
Ah, oh, okay.
Lego was through Warner, which was different. They didn't tell me. They were like, you're going to be doing scenes of a bunch of aliens, and they went, you're also playing this guy on a Rathtar hunt, and he calls this guy boss, so I just keep saying boss. And then I saw the trailer, and it's Han Solo. I was doing scenes with Harrison Ford and going. And I also did the exertions for Max von Sydow.
Oh, okay.
Because they didn't want Max von Sydow, like, so, when
you
he's
just
hitting it,
recorded all of his efforts?
yeah, so I was doing all his efforts and going, well, I'll just sound old and slightly Scandinavian.
Taylor and Freddie were both saying that when they do efforts with lightsabers and stuff, they actually swing a pencil around like in the booth. Do you have any sort of like ways that you physically get into doing efforts?
Because I'm always worried that I'm going to hit the mic or do something.
Right.
So I'm pretty still. There are times with Arden Azunia, the one thing I do because he's just so grand is the hand would go up.
Ah.
So I was like, when you see Aaron talking, because he always wins. It's like, oh, he's just this fop, but if the hand's there and you concentrate on that, if you like move the energy there, it helps you focus.
Yeah.
Little trick that I do.
Oh, very nice.
But no, I think if you move too much, you could get shirt ruffle.
Oh, yeah.
It's good to wear a t-shirt when you're recording so you don't make any problems when you're recording. Just tricks that I've learned.
Yeah, these are now voice acting tips for recording efforts.
Recording efforts.
How to voice act.
And if you scream for 8 hours, that might result in you getting a job.
Not recommended, results may vary.
Yes, absolutely. So season 3, so thank you, Darren, for the little insider information there and your fabulous presence as Emperor Zarkonian.
You guys can come sit down, it's okay.
Most of them are panelists for the next panel.
Yes.
Okay then. You can still sit down.
And we have an amazing Star Wars fan, Joseph Scrimshaw, is in the back.
Yeah.
He knows everything about it.
Ken Knapsack and Jennifer Landa. It's going to be a great panel in here. Mark Ellis right after us. All right, and we're getting the sign that we need to wrap things up. I totally missed the 5. So anyway, we'll just skip over. This was the trailer for the next episode. We'll just, you know what, guys? We've covered predictions. Any questions?
Line up at the mic. We'll do a lightning round.
Yeah, we'll do a lightning
Go
round.
fight,
They're going to
win.
be really fast questions. Nobody has questions. You're all
That
just
was
like,
the fastest lightning
you're all
round I've
just
ever
like,
seen.
I know that's like 3 questions already.
Yeah, it's fine.
Do it
You're
anyway.
crushing it in the hashtag.
So this is something we talked about on our last episode of the podcast. But do you think the last battle was partly inspired by Japanese, like, old soldiers who were trapped on an island and didn't know the war ended?
Oh, yeah. Oh, totally. 100%. Yeah, because I mean, with the last battle, it was, I loved that episode. I thought that it was just such an interesting way to frame it, of basically being like, okay, you know, neither of you guys were ever really gonna win this conflict. It was the Empire the whole time, and you guys were just like a side piece to distract everybody. But yeah, I totally do, like, actually, my grandfather was stationed on Okinawa and was shot at by Japanese soldiers who didn't know the war was over. So yeah, I think that is very, very possible.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, very good question. All right, one more.
Yay, one more person. Go right win.
What are your theories on what happened to Ahsoka?
Ahsoka, Ahsoka lives. Nobody, no death. Ahsoka lives. She's right here, you guys.
Guys, she's fine. No, I mean, I believe that character has. I believe she has more to do before we're done. 100%.
I'm betting full-length animated movie of her just doing her own thing.
Yes.
I think, yes, if we can leave you with anything, it would be Ahsoka.
Ahsoka lives. Yes. Keep using that hashtag ABTV Rebels if you want to keep talking to us. We will see it. Stick around, guys, because there's a great panel coming up right after us. Many of my personal friends. You'll all enjoy it. You're all Star Wars fans. Yes, Jedi Counseling with the Force Center podcast. Stick around. We're going to get out of their way. If you guys want to come talk to us, take photos, whatever, we'll come meet you out in the hallway. But then we'll probably sneak back in here to catch this panel as well. Thanks so much, guys.